Hi, welcome to the Woodwind Corner. My name is Sarah and we are here to talk about all things woodwind. For today's video, we are going to discuss starting a beginner on the flute, specifically making a sound with the flute. I know that since COVID hit, I teach in upstate New York, there's been a lot of uncertainty about kind of what band is going to look like next year, especially our kind of beginners. Like, we usually start in like 4th grade, sometimes 5th grade here in New York. And as a result, a lot of parents have been contacting me for lessons. And I spent my summer doing a lot of private lessons, both Zoom, and then I actually modified my teaching space since the numbers are kind of low in this state. And if you guys want a kind of a video tutorial, I'll do that in a little bit on kind of how I modified my teaching space to kind of make it safe. My husband helped me build a couple of the barriers, and we added some extra ventilation in this room. So that might be kind of interesting. But anyways, a lot of parents have been interested in beginners. And so I've had a lot of beginners coming to me this summer, and I thought that it would be great to talk about some things that I've been teaching them. So for the flute, the first thing that I do is I have students say the word ew, like that's disgusting. And ew sets your embouchure up for the flute almost perfectly. And then I have them look in front of a mirror to double check that their embouchure is creating kind of that football shape. So then I have students, after we say ew and they check their football shape, we go to our hands and we practice right away where our airstream is going to hit, because I think especially for flute players, I think that's really important to kind of understand that you're not just like blowing air, that you actually have to direct the air somewhere. So we practice moving between the middle of our hand, the top of our hand, and the bottom of our hand. And if I was in school, I actually have one of the Pneumo Pros, which I'll put a link to in I'll put a link down below. And the Pneumo Pros are amazing. If you've ever seen them, they're like mock a flute head joint, and they have different pinwheels. So the students try to hit the pinwheels for a different air direction. But anyways, we practice going ew, and then directing our airstream up and down. And if a student is not really feeling the air on their hand, I use faster air instead of more air, and I think that helps a lot. So we work on that. And then after that, to set them up for the correct embouchure, I have them for the first week really just like play on their head joint so that they get a sound. I have them kiss the opening to the head joint and roll, and we call it the kiss and roll, like the second roll. So they go ew, and then they kiss, and then they roll, and then they check always in front of the mirror to make sure that the opening is right below their mouth and that their lips still aren't covering too much of the opening. Ew. And then I have them cover their hands with under the end of the head joint, because that creates a little bit of resistance for them, and I find that they have more success trying that versus uncovered at first. So we create some resistance, we go ew, kiss and tuck, and then I have them say pew is their first articulation. Kind of like they're spinning rice, like. And the first exercise that we do is just 4 counts on with a sound and 4 counts off. So and then once they become successful with that, I have them practice 4 counts with their hand on, and then 4 counts taking your hand off, and see if they can just use their tongue to change the air and articulate, and say like two is the articulation I use, like T-O-O. So so on and so forth. And then the very first song that they learn on their head joint goes like this. think it's actually called Come and Get Your Beans, Boys. I'm not sure the whole lyrics to the song. If anyone knows that, you can post that below. But back in the day when I was taking private lessons, my cousin is actually a music teacher too, and I remember that my sister and I were taking lessons, and I was taking saxophone lessons, and my sister was starting the flute, and I remember from so many years ago that is the song that she taught her, and it stuck with my head. And so that's the one that I use when I'm teaching beginners. Again, it goes like this. So it's just in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. And I think that helps them produce a sound. It helps them articulate because they have to do the two. It helps them feel resistance and not resistance. And it helps them for a week kind of focus on just the embouchure, getting that correct, and like the kiss and the roll, right? And then it's not until they're successful at that I even let them put the flute back onto, or the head joint back onto the flute. And now it's kind of like a bonus tutorial. I'm gonna grab this fun guy. Something else I've been doing with not just my beginners this summer, but something just in general that I've started to do is incorporate the breathing ball into this. And I've been doing 2 different exercises with them. And when I tell students, when we work on breathing, because I think it's really important to incorporate some type of breathing exercise into your practicing, I kind of stole this from a yoga class I took. I had them do a 3-part breath. So I had them feel it in their chest, in their back, and then their diaphragm or their stomach muscles. And I have students at first do a slow inhale for 4 and then exhale for 4 using this ball as a visual. So we'll go 2, 3, 4, and then exhale 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4. And then we'll keep building it up until we can get to 16. And then another exercise that I do is 1 quick inhale and then exhale, and I'll count down, like, let's say from 8. So 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I think that the second one simulates a little bit more like what it feels like when you're playing, you know, quick burst and then a decrescent, or an airstream out. And if this were like a non-COVID world, I would let students use this because it would be fun to have someone direct that, right? But in a COVID world, this is what I would keep. And this is cool because even when you're teaching like online using Zoom, the students think it's fun. And so they're really, I found them to be really responsive. Actually, one of my students like ran into the other room because she said, this is a private student, not like a student, because she said that her brother had one and she grabbed it and she was doing it along with me. So I thought that was kind of fun. And you can get this, forgot what this is called, but I got this for like $7 on Amazon. I'll put the link description below. But yeah, I call this the breathing ball, and it's been the greatest thing ever. So that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe by clicking the bell below, and I will hope to see you in my next video. Bye!